What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel this morning. This is the #1 fucking podcast right here on YouTube.com. This is Off the Script, episode 194, part number 1 for your Friday, October 27th, 2017. I want to start the show off with a little bit of a different vibe, man. I got this email sent to me on October 23rd in the evening at 10:13 p.m. And I want to read this to you because after the week of saltiness and the week of hate and the week of just people just trying to beat me down over various things and other various things that are happening during the week, I want to use this email to showcase everybody that I am incredibly proud of what I do and what I have done and what I will continue to do on this channel. Okay? This email comes from Jonathan and Lori Jenkins. Shout out to both of you if you guys are listening. JD, hey bro, this is Jonathan, and I not only love, but listen to your Off the Script, pay-per-view, Raw, and Smackdown podcasts all the time, and I absolutely love your Kevin Dunn impersonations. They make me and my wife crack up laughing every time when you do one of them on your show. We currently live in Florida, and I've been listening to your podcasts for about a year now. My wife just started listening to you, and she is already hooked on your podcasts. We don't watch any of the WWE pay-per-view trash that they produce, but we love your comments and your reviews at the end of them. I know that you're probably wondering what the subject line in the letter means, and the subject title of this email is, "Your Name is Honored." Well, my wife is currently pregnant with twins, a boy and a girl. Congratulations to both of you. My best friend Peter had a similar thing happen several years ago. His wife was pregnant with twins, a boy and a girl. He continues on to say, and we have thought about it and have initiated our daughter's name after yours. Her first and second initials are also JD, which stand for Jordan Dallas. My wife thought up the name and put the initials JD for our daughter's name after you. Anyway, keep up the good work on your channel. Don't stop for anyone and hope for the best. Love listening to you weekly and wouldn't listen to anyone else. Later, bro, and take care of yourself. Signed, Jonathan and Lori Jenkins. Better than any Patreon, better than anything. That's why we do this here, man. And the fact that I sit here week in and week out and I give you guys my podcast the way I do it, and I get a nice warm email like that in my inbox with Jonathan saying that both of them have come up with a name for their daughter, which, you know, is the same as my initials, JD. You can't ask for anything better than that, man. If you're in my position now, if you are doing what I'm doing now, and you get something like that, and you've made an impact on people's lives like that, which to me, honestly, still to me as I sit here, as weeks go by, as long as I've been doing this, it's still, I don't have any words for it. It's so humbling. And it's just mind-boggling to me how just a normal guy like me talking wrestling can really muster up feelings like that in a human being, you know? And I really appreciate the fact that, you know, you guys enjoy everything that I do and the hard work that I put into this channel. And I'm glad that you guys notice and see all the hard work and passion and dedication and man hours and struggle that it takes to keep this channel running. And Jonathan and Lori, I can't thank you guys enough, man. That was by far the best thing that I've seen. As far as my work week goes, that's the best thing that I've seen all week. And thank you so much for the unbelievable gesture. And I wish you guys the best. And I hope all goes well. And please do follow up with me when the twins are born. And let me know how you guys are doing. And if WrestleMania again is in Florida, I hope to see you guys out there. Because as long as this podcast continues to be successful, I'm going to try and make all these WrestleMania trips coming up every year, man. So if it does come down to Florida again, I hope to see you guys out there. I'd love to meet both of you. So thank you guys so much for that unbelievable gesture. And like I said, a slightly different vibe to open up off the script this Friday. It is indeed episode 194 right here on Off the Script. This is part number 1 for October 27th, 2017. I am, of course, I'm going to take this one from Leo Rush, the man of the hour, JD. Thank you guys so much for joining me on your Friday mornings. I want to go over the House of Glory show, man. Before we get into any news of any WWE sort, I want to go over the House of Glory show that happened on Friday night. My first time calling a Michael Elgin match. I knew how good he was because I seen his matches with Kenny Omega in the G1 Climax tournament, and I did see his first round match here in the States during the IWGP United States Championship tournament that they had over in California that was on Access TV. I did see that match. Michael Elgin, 275 pounds, one of the best, I wouldn't say big men, but he is a fucking heavyweight. And Michael Elgin is one of the best heavyweights in the business right now, just based on what I've seen already, and then obviously seeing him in person, and then calling his match with the Amazing Red. If you guys want to see my commentary for that match, unfortunately, I was doing it by myself, and my partner in crime, Mr. Matthew Ryan Shapiro, was not there with me. There was an incident that happened in the match prior, the House of Glory Tag Team Championships, the New York Wrecking Crew, the Tag Team Champions right now with Chris Seaton and Smooth Blackman. Chris Seaton was injured, and it was a very scary situation to the point where he had to be taken out on a stretcher. I'm not sure if they're going to be uploading that match to House of Glory Live on their Facebook page or their YouTube channel, but it was a very scary situation where he came off the top rope doing a moonsault, and he was writhing in pain. And his screams were honestly scary. Sitting at ringside and then seeing him crawl out of the ring or slide underneath the bottom rope to the hardwood floor at the NYC Arena. It was a very scary situation. I did ask Shapiro what happened after the fact because he came up to me after the show asking how the main event went. And I asked how Chris Seaton was first and foremost. And he says that he had torn a muscle in his leg. It's not an ACL. It's not anything that catastrophic, but he's going to be out. I don't know how long. I did DM him. He says that he is home recuperating now. He is home resting, so thank God. My best wishes to Chris Seaton in hopes that he gets better and comes back and gets in the ring ASAP. But it was a very scary situation, but I'm glad that he's going to be okay. As for the main event, man, Amazing Red never looked better. He's better now than he has ever been, man. He is just so fluid, so smooth at everything he does. Michael Elgin, for a big guy, man, you'd be surprised what this man can do at 275 pounds. Absolutely unbelievable. That match is now on House of Glory's YouTube page. If you guys want to go check it out, please go and do so. I want to thank everybody for your support of me as well. It's not about me. It's about what happens in that ring. But a lot of you guys were really having some nice things to say about my commentary. Some of you actually said it was the best match that I've called, being that I had to call it by myself. So I really appreciate the kind gestures, and if you guys want to go check that out, it's on their channel right now. I will leave you a link in the annotation that you see within this video. So please go and check it out. Please leave some kind words. You know, House of Glory could use all the support it could get. We are nearing 11,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel. I want to be a direct help to get them and grow them as best we can because it's unbelievable. And they have their 7th year anniversary show. Their 7-year anniversary show is coming up on December 16th. So if you guys want to come and check that out, they have booked their biggest talent to date for the pre-show, man. Ric Flair is going to be in the NYC Arena signing autographs. I don't know how much he's going to be charging. I don't know how much an autograph and a picture is going to cost with Ric Flair. I know he's known to charge an exorbitant amount of money But he is going to be there, and it's absolutely going to be a sold-out show, so I would not wait. If you guys are interested and going to be in the New York City area, HOG wrestling.net. Please make sure you guys go and check that out. That is a centralized website where you can just go and find everything you need, man. Videos on demand, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, anything social media-wise, that is your destination for everything HOG, House of Glory. And thank you guys so much for the overwhelming love and support. I can't wait for the December show. It should be unbelievable. I do have news, man. I have a lot of news. We're going to go over a nice little story about Nia Jax that came out where she actually asked for The Rock's recommendation on what to do. And The Rock gave her the best advice that he could give her at the time. So we're going to go over all that. I got plans on Rusev and Aiden English forming a tag team. Sounds like a decent idea, man. Rusev ain't doing anything else. Aiden English could be catapulted into a nice spot teaming with Rusev. We're going to go over all that as well, plus so much more right here on Off the Script. Make sure to please follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. We are nearing 85,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so very much. Things are going very, very well on the YouTube landscape for me right now. Videos are staying monetized for a couple of days, then they go yellow, and then this week has been pretty quick with the review process, man. So everything's been pretty decent right now. But thank you guys for the overwhelming support. There are videos up on the channel right now if you guys missed them, man. Monday Night Raw review did unbelievable this week. Thank you guys so much. That's live on the channel if you guys want to go check that out. Over an hour long, talking about everything. We got Smackdown live review as well. That's live on the channel right now. And NXT review, man. We go over everything. Johnny Gargano versus Shawn Michaels will be taking place at NXT TakeOver War Games, but not in the way that we all want. Not in the way we're all expecting. They will be face-to-face in the ring, but they're going to be doing something a little bit different, a little bit fun at NXT TakeOver War Games. But regardless, Shawn Michaels will be at NXT TakeOver War Games, and anytime Shawn Michaels is on WWE television, it's always a welcome. So make sure you guys go and check that out. Also, we talk about the ongoing feud with the Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black. One of my favorite things in WWE right now. Also, that big battle royal to crown a winner to go on to take over War Games to finish out that fatal four-way. Now, it will be Kairi Sane, Ember Moon, Peyton Royce, and Nikki Cross for the vacant NXT Women's Championship. So that video is live on the channel as well. Plus, all the WWE 2K18 My Career modes, the stressful week that was career mode, those live streams are on the channel as well. Thank you guys so very much for all that. And finally, this podcast, this video, being sponsored by audibletrial.com. If you guys want to go get your audio books, man, for free, you guys have one free audio book waiting for you just for listening to Off the Script, and that goes for all new listeners. And I know I got a lot of new listeners out there, man. So if you are a new listener, if you are a new subscriber, and you want to support the podcast just for sitting down comfortably in your own home and listening to today's show, all you got to do is go to audibletrial.com/offthescript. It's right in the layout there, man. Those are all my sponsors there. It's right in the layout on the right side. Fill out the information. Go through the sign-up process. You got 30 days free to search Audible's website, and then they're going to give you one free audiobook of your choice. The books that are out right now, Jim Ross's new book is making waves. Also, you guys can pre-order Mick Foley's new book. AJ Lee's book is still out there. Daniel Bryan. A bunch of stuff out there. The Death of WCW. So you guys can go get whatever you want. And if you don't want the wrestling stuff, there's a ton of non-wrestling related books as well. And if you guys want to cancel the service, as soon as you sign up, you still get to keep your audiobook, man. If you feel that Audible's not for you, cancel it. You get to keep your audiobook for free, but you're still supporting Off the Script and JD. That's audibletrial.com/offthescript. Thank you guys so very much for all that. Let's get into the news, man. We have a major story here, and we're going to start off with this one because I don't know why WWE is booking this match if they feel they have to go out and get an even bigger name than anybody involved in the match to make the match feel special. I don't understand it. WWE considering two major names on top of the original name they have for this match. Special guest referee role for the WWE Championship match, or the champion versus champion match, I should say, at Survivor Series. The upcoming Jinder Mahal versus Brock Lesnar match at Survivor Series is a non-title match. No titles will be on the line, but it is a champion versus champion match, and it should be a big deal. I don't know how much of a big deal it is to the general public. Nobody gives a shit about Jinder Mahal, and nobody is really going to take him to be a legit threat to Brock Lesnar. Unfortunately, there are still a lot of fans that don't buy Mahal. A lot of fans. I think there's every fan that's out there that don't buy Mahal as a top star. So WWE is looking to add something of intrigue to the match. So if you're booking this match and you're still not happy with the outcome, then why are we getting the match to begin with? If it's not intriguing, or if you feel it's not intriguing to the fans, why are you giving us this shit? You know, I made a mention of this on Twitter, and a lot of you people actually liked the tweet. It was the fact that if WWE did the right thing and they booked Shinsuke Nakamura to win the WWE Championship at Hell in a Cell, which he should have, instead of losing clean to Jinder Mahal, if Shinsuke Nakamura was the WWE Champion, and WWE's plan all along for Survivor Series was to have Smackdown versus Raw, champions versus champions, which to me, I don't know why they're doing. I don't know why or how that fits into a Survivor Series mentality. You know, what they're doing here is, A, they're mixing Survivor Series with bragging rights and Clash of the Champions. What they're doing with the championship matches, or these champion versus champion matches at Survivor Series, that is how I would book Clash of the Champions. That's what I would do. I would make it a Raw and SmackDown branded pay-per-view, and I would make that the one pay-per-view of the year where they go head-to-head, and I would keep Survivor Series the way you usually keep Survivor Series, the Thanksgiving tradition. You know, giving us elimination matches with meaning, with story, you know, for your brands. I don't understand why WWE is just mixing up pay-per-views, and with this, they really fucked up big time. Like I was saying, if Shinsuke Nakamura was the WWE Champion, we would be getting Brock Lesnar versus Shinsuke Nakamura at Survivor Series, and that would be something that would sell Survivor Series. That's a big match. That would be something I would go out of my way to go watch. This, I don't think anybody cares to see this match at all. Now, it's been rumored this week, John Cena has been discussed as a possibility as the special referee. If Cena is the plan as Mahal's opponent at WrestleMania, then it would make sense to kick off the feud with Cena costing Mahal the match. However, Vince McMahon is considering two other names that are not currently with the WWE. This was first reported in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Vince McMahon is also considering Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. The question here is whether they would want to do it. The Rock's schedule will be a factor, and it would cost a hell of a lot to get Austin just to come and do a special guest referee role. Before any rumors start, it should be noted that Austin will likely never wrestle again, and it's unlikely that we'll see The Rock versus Lesnar at WrestleMania, even though WWE wanted to do it for WrestleMania 30 in New Orleans. Austin has been adamant about being retired and never wanted to do another match. It's unclear if we would ever see The Rock in a serious wrestling match again because of movie studios that don't want him to risk any injury, as that would delay production. That is the rumor right now. If anything here makes sense, Austin or The Rock doesn't make sense. I don't care to see either one of them. They have nothing to do with this at all. I would rather them do something where it progresses a storyline, okay? John Cena, to me, is probably the best choice, even though I don't want to see it, even though I know if it does lead to Cena being the referee, we're probably going to get Cena versus Mahal, and all the rumors about that match being one of the co-main events at WrestleMania 34 for the WWE Championship will start to reveal itself, and that's something I really don't care for as well. WWE's really dropping the ball here with Jinder Mahal as the WWE Champion, and like I stated several times with Roman Reigns, and WWE sabotaging Monday Night Raw's main event scene by keeping the Universal Championship on Brock Lesnar, having him keep it warm for Roman Reigns, and WWE revolving all their plans around Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar and this WrestleMania match with the Universal Championship being on the line. They are sabotaging the main event scene on Monday Night Raw, and they're giving nothing to these guys to fight over. It's not like they're building the Intercontinental Championship up to take the Universal Championship's place. They're not doing that. It's a huge mess across the brands. It's a huge mess on Raw. It's a huge mess on SmackDown. WWE is doing the same thing on SmackDown. They are sabotaging proper storyline for SmackDown Live in the main event by keeping the title on Jinder Mahal. Now, some of you might like Jinder Mahal as WWE Champion. Fine, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you can't like it, that it's illegal for you to like it. I'm telling you that it doesn't make any sense. I'm here telling you that it's a detriment, it's a negative to the product. It is clear sabotage to SmackDown Live that Jinder Mahal is the WWE Champion. There are two other storylines that I would much rather see going into WrestleMania for the WWE Championship than a Jinder Mahal-John Cena storyline. That does not interest me. So that means not only one, but two of your championship matches, two of your big main events at WrestleMania will be a predictable outcome. If you do Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, there's no reason to believe why Brock Lesnar is going to retain the Universal Championship. If you do Cena and Mahal, there's no reason to believe why John Cena will not capture World Title 17. We're already talking about WrestleMania in October and in November, and we're already talking about WrestleMania being predictable. Sometimes predictable is good. I understand that. But these are two storylines that, A, nobody wants to see, and this is a situation where predictable is not good. It's not good. Everybody thought going into WrestleMania 14 with Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin how predictable that match was. That is a good predictable. Everybody wanted to see Austin the champion, and Michaels with a bad back that kept him out for 4 fucking years gave you the match that he gave you. Imagine what he would do if he had a good back. He was probably still going to end up losing that match anyway because it was Austin's time to be put over. But that is an idea. That's a situation of good predictable. This is not a good idea. This is not a good predictable. So I don't know how WWE is going to manage to build intrigue for WrestleMania, because as far as I'm concerned, WrestleMania, to me, is already looking worse than last year. It's like they're booking WrestleMania to be worse than the previous year. Two matches that already do not interest me. There are two other scenarios on SmackDown Live that I would much rather see. One of them I already talked about, with Shinsuke Nakamura being the WWE Champion. I would love to see Nakamura versus Brock Lesnar. However you want to book that match, that's fun. That's fun. I would love to see it. I think that's a main event worthy of a headline attraction in WWE, you know? But if Nakamura was the WWE Champion, we would be getting Nakamura versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. Now, there are rumors that WWE is planning to book Nakamura versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania, but it will be a non-title situation. I would much rather the title be on the line. AJ Styles is now the next in line to challenge Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship. That is coming after the Survivor Series. If John Cena is in the match and costs Jinder Mahal this match with Brock Lesnar, and ultimately is going to be used to set up WrestleMania, we all know, again, in a predictable outcome, that AJ Styles will not be winning the WWE Championship. So you mean to tell me you're going to try and get one over on the fans? You don't think the fans are going to be upset that Jinder Mahal beat Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles? People dealt with it somehow, some way, with Shinsuke Nakamura losing clean. You think they're going to take to AJ Styles losing clean over Jinder Mahal? Come on, bro. If AJ is challenging for the WWE Championship, plans need to change. Jinder Mahal could much easily benefit from a United States Championship reign and then fight Cena at WrestleMania. That's what I think that they should do. They need to switch the roles. John Cena, I understand, is world champion number 17, world championship number 17, fine. But you got to take into consideration, if you're going that route, how much time does John Cena realistically have on WWE television if you plan to give him a world championship title reign? How much time is he going to have on WWE television next year? Is this going to be, let's just do it and then drop the title back to somebody else and then get him off TV for another 6 months? Or is he going to have a legit title reign that lasts the better half of 2018? And if it's not going to last the better half of 2018, I don't care to see it. If it's not going to last the better half of 2018, John Cena doesn't deserve it. That's not the way you're going to book storylines. Just because you want to do it, and then John Cena's going to be off television, okay, what are you accomplishing? You're making the title look like shit. It's not going to benefit in any way, going from Mahal to Cena and then from Cena to somebody else that fast. You know? When I want to see a world champion, I want to see a world champion have a run like Mahal is having, but the guy's got to be legit. WWE needs to take the title off of Mahal and put it on AJ Styles. That is their only out here. And if WWE doesn't take it, they're damaging the title furthermore. Because nothing after that makes sense. Nothing. If Mahal dropped the title to Styles, we'll get Styles and Nakamura in the match we want. That's a main event worthy of WrestleMania. Mahal could somehow win the United States Championship right after he drops the WWE Championship. And then Cena versus Mahal for the United States Championship would be a lot better. You have this evil foreigner holding the United States Championship hostage. Mr. Patriot himself comes back and brings prestige back to the United States Championship. Brings it back to American soil. That's a storyline that's been done fucking in nauseam. Time and time again. But it makes sense with Jinder Mahal. It makes sense with John Cena. United States Championship ain't doing nothing on Baron Corbin. If you're going to continue giving me Baron Corbin versus Sin Cara, what are you doing for the United States Championship? What are you doing for Baron Corbin? WWE really needs to switch roles here. There are two other situations that I want to see for the WWE Championship. One we already mentioned, Styles and Nakamura, WWE title. What are you going to do with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? What are you going to do with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? You know, a lot of people are running their mouth about what this could possibly lead to. How many more times do we got to see Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens battle one-on-one? We don't want to see that. We've seen it enough times already. Over a dozen times on WWE television. Nobody wants to see it. And if it happens again, it will mean nothing. Even though they are in the best storyline on Smackdown Live. But what if? And this is where people made fun of me. This is where people made fun of me. You know, I booked this match at WrestleMania this year. And everybody scoffed. And everybody laughed. And everybody ridiculed. And everybody said I was delusional. This could be a situation if WWE wants to be creative and have fun with it. They're in the biggest storyline on SmackDown Live right now. There has to be an end game. There has to be an end to this. Kevin Owens ain't going babyface. There's no reason for Kevin Owens to go babyface. Kevin Owens is a heel through and through. Kevin Owens is a lifelong heel. Simple. I would not change his dynamic. Sami Zayn? Sami Zayn needed a heel turn. And you know who else needs a heel turn or needed a heel turn? Roman Reigns. Sami Zayn wasn't over as a babyface the way everyone expected him to be. Now he's a heel. Now he's getting better reactions as a heel than he ever did as a babyface. So this is going to work for him in the long run. You're going to pair him with Kevin Owens. It's going to be big. But eventually, Sami is going to come too. Sami is going to realize that Kevin Owens has been manipulating him. Kevin Owens has been using him and guiding him down the wrong path. What if Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have this big deal in the Royal Rumble where Sami Zayn just betrays Kevin Owens and comes to and snaps out of it, and Sami Zayn wins the Royal Rumble? Sami Zayn goes on to go to WrestleMania and challenge for the WWE Championship. What if Kevin Owens wins the WWE Championship and we get a Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens WWE Championship match at WrestleMania? It is something to think about. It is something to think about. That scenario with the AJ Styles Nakamura scenario, those are two main event situations that blow Mahal and anybody else involved with Mahal out of the water. So again, I ask you, why is it beneficial to WWE to have Mahal as the champion when it's doing absolutely nothing for WWE television? Nothing. He is holding the title hostage. He is holding the main event on SmackDown Live hostage. Him being at the top of the card is having a direct effect on the quality of the show. He needs to be in a better situation. Mahal is not a WWE champion. He wasn't when they first gave him the title. He proved to be not worthy of the title. He will never be WWE championship worthy. That's been given. That's a fact. WWE needs to change up their storylines now to make the show quality better. Any one of those two scenarios will definitely do that. But if John Cena is going to be the special guest referee at Survivor Series, we know where WWE's direction is going for WrestleMania, and everything that I just mentioned will probably never see the light of day. So John Cena, The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin being rumored for special guest referee roles in the match between Mahal and Lesnar at the Survivor Series. SmackDown Live could be getting a new tag team in the form of Rusev and Aiden English, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Aiden English and Rusev are expected to be officially named a tag team moving forward. English and Rusev previously teamed up in a loss to Shinsuke Nakamura and Randy Orton. The two superstars got involved during Rusev's celebration of Rusev Day. Aiden English is no stranger to tag teams or the tag team division, since he made his name as part of the Vaudevillains with Simon Gotch. The Vaudevillains are a former NXT Tag Team Champion, but they broke up once Gotch got released from his contract due to bad backstage behavior. English reinvented his character into his old singing gimmick that he had in NXT. On the other hand, Rusev has been a mainstay on the main roster since making his debut in 2014 from NXT. Rusev is a two-time United States champion, which means nothing because both of his runs were fucking garbage. They fed him to John Cena, and then they fed him to Roman Reigns. And he has a history of teaming up with Alberto Del Rio and Jinder Mahal. Although unsuccessful, Rusev and English could work as an entertaining tag team, but they need to make the most of their chances like Breezango. Some fans are expecting Rusev to form an alliance with the Usos after a surprise team-up at a live event in Argentina against the New Day and Triple H this week. However, it seems like it's not going anywhere since it was Rusev who got pinned by Triple H in the match. Rusev has been pushed down the card ever since his undefeated streak was snapped. Talk about killing momentum. Teaming with Aiden English might not make a difference for Rusev, but it still has potential to be entertaining. This is going to be more beneficial to Aiden English to be in the main event spot, or at least in a more prime spot than he is now with Rusev. This could be beneficial to Rusev as well because they're not really doing anything with him. You know, a lot of people are saying that Rusev was miscast, that they chose the wrong foreigner, that they chose Jinder Mahal over Rusev when it should have been Rusev over Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship spot on SmackDown Live. I would have much rather enjoyed that. I think Rusev was much more worthy of being a WWE champion, much more deserving of being a WWE champion. Mahal didn't do anything to deserve where he is. Just go look at his Instagram. Go look at his recent picture on his Instagram. You will know why they gave him the WWE Championship. It is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Rusev forming a team with the Usos might be better to some because it can allow the Bulgarian Brute to showcase his personality. For those who do not know, Rusev is an entertaining character outside of WWE, especially in Xavier Woods' Up, Up, Down, Down YouTube channel. So Rusev and Aiden English could be forming a tag team. This is good for Aiden English. This is good for Rusev. Rusev is, you know, a lot of people consider Rusev a main event guy, but there's just no room for him right now. It's not his time. It's not his time. And if this happens, I'm going to give it my seal of approval because SmackDown Live needs tag teams. Obviously, the Ascension ain't doing shit. Breezango ain't doing shit. That entire Fashion File shit is just over and done with. It's seen its course. It's not funny anymore. It was funny week 1. It was funny week 2. It was kind of funny week 3. And after that, you've seen a downhill slide with Breezango and the Fashion Files. It's not funny anymore. End it. Now they're just overkill. So, the Ascension, Breezango, the Hype Bros are about to break up any week now. They ain't really anything. WWE hasn't portrayed them to be anything. We got Benjamin and Gable, right? We got the Usos. We got the New Day. The Bludgeon Brothers are coming. Harper and Rowan. I got to see how much that is of a failure on WWE television. I'm hoping it's not. I hope that the crowd takes to them. You know, I hope they're not Ascension 2.0. I hope they're not, you know, mock versions of Demolition with sledgehammers, you know. But the tag team division could really use a boost. And if we could get any entertainment out of Rusev and Aiden English, but get the wrestling from those guys like we know we can get, I think it would be good. A babyface tag team in the form of Rusev and Aiden English, I'm for it, man. You're not doing anything with them now. Put them in roles and give them roles where they could thrive. If it starts off as a tag team and then leads to something else later on, fine. But at least get them on television and put them in a division that sorely needs talent. Because it's better than just wasting these guys in the back. I enjoy it. I like it. And I hope it continues on. And I hope WWE goes in that direction because it's just more positive than it is negative right now. So I hope to see Rusev and Aiden English on WWE SmackDown Live on Tuesdays, because the tag team division could certainly use it. Ricochet and WWE could be moving closer to a deal. Whether you know him as Ricochet or Prince Puma or King Ricochet, the man is still one of the best pro wrestlers on the planet. There have been rumors for quite some time that WWE is interested in bringing in this former Lucha Underground talent, now that Lucha Underground Season 3 has concluded. And his contract in Lucha Underground forbid him from talking to anyone else. He was still lighting up the world's indie scene in the process, astounding and entertaining crowds all over the place. Ricochet is also dating Tessa Blanchard in real life, which is also highly impressive in itself. But even above his romantic involvement with Tessa Blanchard, Ricochet remains one of the top workers in the industry. Now, it looks like WWE and Ricochet might be inching closer to finally making their partnership official. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports Ricochet is telling promoters that he will no longer be able to take bookings past mid-January. This timing would fall under the period of his no-compete clause with Lucha Underground running out. Therefore, it might be pretty good to pay close attention to Ricochet in the coming months because the jump to the WWE is seeming even more likely during this juncture. I am expecting, and I'm crossing my fingers on this, I'm more saying yes than I am no here. Yes, I think we will see Ricochet at NXT TakeOver during Royal Rumble weekend. That's what I hope we see. That's what I'm predicting. And if that is the case, NXT has just gotten one of the best in-ring talents on this planet. Ricochet is amazing. And Ricochet is going to make an immediate impact in NXT. Do you debut him in the Royal Rumble? No. He's not an AJ Styles. If you debut Ricochet in the Royal Rumble, he might get a small pop because a lot of people that are going to be in Philadelphia are going to be Smart Mark fans. They will probably know who Ricochet is. But after that, that will die very quickly. You don't want to put him in that position. And I do not trust the main roster with anything Ricochet. Put him down to NXT and let Triple H nurture him and make him a superstar into the superstar I know he will come out and be. He's not perfect. Ricochet's got a great look. His in-ring ability speaks for itself. He's not really a good promo. So he needs to work on WWE-esque, things like entrance, theme music, presence, promos. All that stuff needs to work, or needs to be worked on down at NXT. Ricochet is not perfect, but he has an opportunity to be an unbelievable superstar and an unbelievable get for WWE. NXT is the proper home for him. The Royal Rumble and debuting in the Royal Rumble should not even be an idea in anyone's head. WWE has more than enough, funds or more than enough, resources for the Royal Rumble. You do not need Ricochet to be in the Royal Rumble. He will not make an impact. And if Ricochet is going to be debuting in the Royal Rumble and he's not winning it, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. AJ Styles, I still to this day think AJ Styles debuting in the Royal Rumble was the wrong debut for AJ Styles. I think they missed the boat on a really, 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 really big debut of AJ Styles following WrestleMania on Monday Night Raw. Putting him in the Royal Rumble, WWE just wanted him in the Royal Rumble for whatever reason. The feud with Chris Jericho really wasn't all that impressive. It didn't give us any great matches that we're still talking about to this day. It was mediocre at best. Even AJ Styles himself made mention in various interviews that he would have wanted to go down to NXT just to understand WWE's learning curve, because coming in, he was confused and he realized how different it is in WWE compared to anywhere else that he's wrestled. So I would have had WWE debut AJ Styles on Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania and immediately feud with Roman Reigns over the WWE Championship while introducing Gallows and Anderson alongside him. That would have been my ideal situation for AJ Styles. But Ricochet, NXT TakeOver Philadelphia, that's where you debut him. Anything else would be a mistake. Believe me. Believe me. AJ Styles. Or not AJ Styles. AJ Lee. I'm sorry. AJ Styles. We got news on AJ Styles, though. We do got news on AJ Styles. AJ Lee talks about missing wrestling and the fans. She was on the Sam Roberts podcast again. She spoke on a wide variety of topics about her life and wrestling career. AJ spoke about missing the energy of the crowd while she was wrestling. She says that this is different from her husband, CM Punk, who does not miss wrestling at all. This is what she said on the Sam Roberts podcast, and I quote, "I think him and I have differing views on that for sure. My heart is always going to have this giant place for wrestling, so I'll always miss that moment right in the ring when you feel that energy from the crowd. There is nothing that can replace that, but I also think you need to appreciate the different kinds of happy there are." She also says she misses the fans, and I quote, "So I have positive memories of that, and I miss the fans. Doing these autograph signings and seeing people I've known for 7 years is the coolest thing in the world to me," end quote. AJ Lee also talks about when Vince McMahon offered her a spot on Total Divas, and she said flat out no. She's been doing a lot of work to pretty much promote her new book, Crazy is My Superpower, which you guys can get using our Audible link. If you are a new listener, audibletrial.com/offthescript. You guys can go get AJ Lee's new book for free. All spoken by AJ Lee, man. All 10 hours spoken by AJ Lee. Narrated by her. Crazy is my superpower, how I triumphed by breaking bones, breaking hearts, and breaking the rules. During a recent Q&A, she gave some details on her turning down the chance to be on Total Divas. She says the company wanted her to be on the show to replace JoJo as the tiny girl. She turned it down because she enjoys privacy. She also shared Vince McMahon's reaction to her turning down the offer, and I quote, this is what AJ Lee said about that. "I didn't realize how offensive that would be, turning down the offer to do the show, and I think Vince McMahon got a kick out of that because people kind of jump at those opportunities, and he was kind of fatherly towards me." This eventually led to AJ's promo on Raw, where she blasted the entire cast of Total Divas, and I quote, "He came up to me at Raw and was like, 'So you don't want to do the show then?' I said, 'No.' He's like, 'Okay, well, tell us why today,' and that was it. So they gave me a live microphone, and I guess nobody knew I was going to do the pipe bomb on the Divas," end quote. She does mention that Vince was proud of her after the promo she cut, and that Vince approved what she said after she got to Gorilla backstage after the promo was said. She also said she would go on to say that WWE offered her a choice of storylines for Total Divas. This gives you the indication of how truly scripted the show really is. Indeed. So AJ really didn't suffer any backlash from the promo, man. That was a damn good promo by AJ Lee. But I would love to see AJ Lee back. I mean, she was one of a kind. She really was. She had a great look. Everybody just loved her. You know, she wasn't the best, but she had the drive and the passion, and you knew she wanted to do it. And you seen that in her body of work. The thing with AJ Lee is she's not there anymore because, obviously, Punk had a falling out with the company, and she felt that it was best to follow her husband out of the WWE. Not only for, you know, the backlash that she might be receiving from the company. You know, they might end up bringing the hammer down on her just because of her affiliation to CM Punk. She didn't want to deal with that political bullshit, but she also wanted her privacy. She wanted to write her book, you know? So there will be a time when AJ Lee does come back to the WWE. I really do believe that. I really do believe that she will come back to the WWE eventually, maybe in a one-off role or a WrestleMania role. I don't think she's going to come back to the division and be full-time, but I do think that we will see her at least one more time in a WWE ring. As for CM Punk, I don't know, man. You guys know my feelings on CM Punk. I feel, and I made mention of this, talking about the Daniel Bryan situation, how frustrated he was seeing Kurt Angle back in the WWE ring. I'm going to say it again here. I honestly believe, and this may be a very bold prediction, if Daniel Bryan is on his way out of the WWE and he will go to wrestle for Ring of Honor or New Japan or something like that, I honestly believe Daniel Bryan will be the one to bring CM Punk out of retirement. I really do. I honestly think things come around. They make their way back around full circle, man. Punk left and it opened up the door for Daniel Bryan. The only reason why Daniel Bryan got put in the main event of WrestleMania 33 because CM Punk walked out of the company that year. He was a direct effect on Daniel Bryan being put in the position he was in. I honestly feel that that's going to come around full circle. I feel that Daniel Bryan's going to come back, and I think he's going to bring CM Punk back with him. Not because he's going to ask CM Punk to come back. I'm just getting the feeling that, or I'm going to get the feeling later on in the year next year that Punk is going to get the itch to wrestle again, whether it's for New Japan, whether he joins the Bullet Club, or whether he sees Daniel Bryan doing it outside of WWE, because he knows how valuable Daniel Bryan was to that company. They are the two men who are solely responsible for WWE's directive in getting the smaller indie guy on WWE television. They paved the way for everybody you see now, the Balors and the Owens and the Zanes and the Nevilles. Guys like that. You know, these guys that we're seeing that are not a Jinder Mahal-esque body type, that are 200 plus pounds, the AJ Styles type guys, the Aleister Blacks, you know? They paved the way for that movement in WWE. Whether you like it or not, tough shit. Tough shit. I think things are going to come around full circle. I think when Daniel Bryan leaves the WWE, I don't know how long it's going to be after that, but I do think we see CM Punk back in wrestling in 2018, early 2019, the latest. That is my prediction. So we'll see what happens, man. See what happens. Daniel Bryan, the more and more we see him being frustrated, the more we know that he's going to be leaving the WWE. Soon as that clock strikes midnight and he's a free man, he is gone. And I can't wait to see what happens with Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan, anywhere he goes, you know, he is going to make an immediate impact wherever he lands. There are plans for a special edition of Monday Night Raw in January. This is on the go-home show for the Royal Rumble. WWE's coming up with a pretty big milestone in January 2018. The month will officially mark the 25th anniversary of the launch of Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw is 25 years old. According to a report from Mike Johnson of PW Insider, the plans for WWE's celebration of its anniversary will be a themed show on January 22nd, 2018 to celebrate the 25th anniversary. That show takes place at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. The first episode of Raw took place on January 11th, 1993 at the Manhattan Center, which is decently close to Brooklyn. WWE also reportedly will be releasing a 25th anniversary Raw DVD set. If we had to guess, expect there to be some legends of past featured on the show. This will also be the go-home show, like I said, for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, which takes place on January 28th in Philadelphia. So Monday Night Raw, 25 years old next year, should be decent, should be exciting. I'm hoping WWE has some big plans for the show. Moving on here, man, we have news on Paige. Let's keep the diva theme going, man, or the women's theme going. We talked about AJ Lee. Paige, reportedly close to returning. She seems to be getting a new theme song. With Paige impending return to WWE, seemingly drawing closer, there might be a sign her return is coming very soon. Now, while it's unknown exactly when Paige will return, the general belief is that she will be on the SmackDown Live brand when she does return. Why is that? Because Raw got Asuka. Simple as that. Dave Meltzer mentioned on the Wrestling Observer Radio in the past how Raw got Asuka. It's likely that Paige will end up on SmackDown Live. Since her return has been hinted, it's also likely she does return. It will be a huge surprise when she does. When Paige does make her return, she might be receiving a new theme song as well. While it's unknown if this new version of her theme song will be her official entrance music, it's still pretty cool. Jorge Hernandez, who is the manager of pop singer Shayla, posted a preview of a new remix version of Paige's theme song. It's really low-key and acoustic, therefore it might not make good entrance music, but it is highly possible that this new version could be utilized in a number of new ways by WWE, including video packages or possibly for the soundtrack for the upcoming WWE Studios $7 production, Fighting With My Family, which is set to tell the story about Paige and her infamous wrestling family. So there you go. Paige coming back. I don't know when. We could see Paige possibly after Survivor Series, you know, but she is due back, and Paige needs to come back ASAP. If she's going to SmackDown Live, God bless, because SmackDown Live's women's division right now is absolutely piss poor boring. If anything needs a shot of adrenaline, it's that women's division. They are doing absolutely nothing with that division. Paige could do well there. Paige versus Becky, Paige versus Naomi, Paige versus Charlotte, Paige versus Natty, you know. I think the women's division right now ain't doing shit. And I really don't care. Paige coming back could be really, really good for the SmackDown Live women's division. What else do we got here, man? I'm going to do one more because I don't have a lot of news as of this morning. So we're going to do one more news story and get the hell out of here. We got news on TLC. Who else was called to replace Bray Wyatt at the TLC pay-per-view? Now, you obviously know that the Demon, Finn Balor, went one-on-one with AJ Styles in a very good match. Wasn't great by any means, but it did the job to give WWE a star-studded attraction at TLC and give the fans something worth their money. The recent outbreak of a viral infection in WWE hit the roster on Raw pretty hard. Reigns reportedly has the mumps. Bray Wyatt has viral meningitis. The crisis on the Raw roster caused WWE to rewrite much of their TLC pay-per-view and Monday Night Raw. In a pinch, WWE needed to figure out who would replace Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns on the show. Now, while Kurt Angle's return to replace Roman Reigns and ultimately be a Roman Reigns stunt double, that might have been a logical decision. It was a very last-minute choice, to say the least. But AJ Styles wasn't the first choice to replace Bray Wyatt. It turns out that WWE at least tried to get one other huge wrestling superstar before they landed on AJ Styles with a Balor-Styles match at TLC. Dave Meltzer said in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter that Chris Jericho actually was called by WWE to replace Bray Wyatt at TLC. He was unable to make the show, however, because he was touring with his band Fozzy, but many have assumed it was a tempting offer, and Y2J might have made the show if he didn't already have prior commitments. You know, I'm not really one, and I may be in the minority here. A, I would have had no interest in seeing Chris Jericho versus Finn Balor. Don't really care for it. B, we all loved the list of Jericho. But Chris Jericho back on WWE television, again, in a regular role, I'm not sure if I'm going to be excited to see that again. That's just my take on that. But we have Finn Balor and AJ Styles at TLC. It was a good match. It was a good match. Now, it's not something that I would have preferred to be booked on a last-minute situation, but WWE needed to give the fans something because Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor was realistically a co-main event for that show. It was the Demon King versus Sister Abigail. They needed something to fit and give the fans something worth their money. So they gave us AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. They put Kurt Angle in the main event, even though I didn't like that either. You know, this was a very hit-or-miss show. This was a very hot and cold show. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Balor versus Styles obviously was the biggest thing on that show, and it was the best thing on that show. But seeing Chris Jericho and Finn Balor in a match over AJ Styles, nah. I'm going to take the AJ Styles versus Finn Balor match any day of the week. Now, WWE, how they follow this up is going to be more important. They booked this on a last-minute situation, right? So we need to now hope that WWE has plans in store for something like this to lead into something further down the line. Because you're not just going to book something like this without a follow-up. These guys are too good, and the situation is too good. The matches are too good for there not to be a follow-up. There needs to be a follow-up for the Balor-Styles match, whether that means Balor moves over to SmackDown, whether that means we get Gallows and Anderson moving over to SmackDown, and we get some sort of club reunion or a club feud, something along those lines. But it needs to be set up to where these guys are, again, meeting face-to-face, maybe under a more important circumstance, on the same brand, when it really has time to just be built up properly with current storylines, proper storylines, and these guys, you know, pretty much being given the time to blow us away. I feel like they didn't have any time. I know they didn't have any time. They still gave us 20 minutes of a good match. Imagine what these guys can do when properly planned. I mentioned it in my review. They didn't go outside their comfort zone. They didn't do anything out of the ordinary. Styles was battling jet lag. He was all over the place that weekend. He went from South America to Minnesota. Then he went to Milwaukee, you know, for SmackDown Live. Green Bay on Monday for Monday Night Raw. So he went from South America to the pay-per-view to Raw and then to SmackDown. I think AJ Styles deserves a nice long nap or a raise, you know? Hardest working man in WWE all week. You talk about MVP. That's MVP type, dedication there from AJ Styles. But I'm glad it wasn't Jericho. Fozzie's album sucked, by the way. I would still go see them live, but their new album is god-awful. But I am much rather see a Balor versus Styles match than over a Chris Jericho match. I think the Chris Jericho match really wouldn't have done anything for me, and I think AJ Styles versus Finn Balor really gave the WWE Universe something to finally be excited about. I don't think that same excitement would have came from Chris Jericho versus Finn Balor at the TLC pay-per-view. Speaking of TLC, we have news tomorrow on why Finn Balor beat AJ Styles and then immediately lost to Kane on Monday Night Raw. Backlash, not only from the fans, but backlash from Finn Balor's peers in WWE. Everybody's scratching their head over Finn Balor losing to Kane on Monday Night Raw. That will be one of the stories on tomorrow's Off the Script. We're going to talk about The Rock reportedly encouraging Nia Jax to walk out of WWE. We got news on WWE ready to move on from Neville, plus so much more, man. We got also the King of the Ring is returning, but not in the way that I want to see the King of the Ring return. That plus so much more. Plus, we're going to be doing a Pro Wrestling Crate unboxing. Plus, I got my Wrestle Crate unboxing. That will be on Sunday. So we got Pro Wrestling Crate on Saturday, and we got Wrestle Crate on Sunday. Openings, unboxings on this weekend's Off the Script. Thank you guys so very much, man. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think down below. Hit that thumbs up, and I will see you guys on Saturday morning for part 2 of Off the Script this weekend as we roll on with episode 194. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. If you guys enjoy the channel and you guys want to support, you guys can always do so at patreon.com/JDFROMNY206. And make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that bell for all notifications. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to finish my coffee, and I will see you guys on Saturday morning for more Off the Script. I'll talk to you later.